Record. Okay, we are recording. All right, well, thanks to the 6 of you who have called in for the webinar. We are going to try to keep this short and sweet since we have the home office webinar at 1 o'clock, but we wanted to come back and share with you guys some of the information, the learnings, the fun, all the goodness that we had on the cruise last week. They did share a lot of information with us, and we had some trainings on, scheduled trainings on the days we were at sea, but then there were a lot of one-off conversations that each of us had as well, where we have learned a lot of information and gotten really inspired, and I just wanted to bring some of the lovely ladies you see here together because each, I think, walked away from different experiences and different perspectives, and we'll have something to share. So I'm going to kick it off just with a few of my big takeaways. And I mean, they're a little bit different, I think, because this is my second cruise that I went on, and it was very different this year than last year in a really great way. I mean, I thought nothing could top last year, and this year it proved to be even more amazing. And honestly, that's because we had so many of our own teammates there. And it was just a very different feeling for me personally. And I sat back a few times and just thought, like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy that there are that many of the FPs that have qualified for the cruise. Actually, on the coaches call yesterday, they were talking about how Phil and Danielle, if you guys haven't heard of them, they are mentors in the company and have a really huge team. They're really amazing trainers for their team and are just really great people. And but she was talking about how they had 250 people on the cruise, like individual consultants, and then their husbands, so their whatever guests. So 500 people total. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's insane. But then of course the green in me did the math. And they have about 9,000 or so people on their team. And so I did the math for our team, and just on the first cruise alone, with the number of people that we had for FPs based on our team size, we had a higher percentage of our team on the boat than they did. So that is like a huge accomplishment for us. And there was one moment in the meeting, Lisa pulled her team together, the retail therapist team, and I think this was the first day at sea, and we all just came together because, you know, you see people's names and see their Facebook pictures, but to meet them in person, and we were just doing introductions, and it was really funny because we were going around the room, and we all happened to be sitting next to each other and just going through the list of introducing ourselves and where we live, and it was like Lindsay Bartow, Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, or, you know, different places. And it was just amazing to see that you can have a lot of consultants in one area and still do really well in your business. So that was a big moment for me as well. The fun that you have on the cruise, I mean, we'll talk more about that. Each of these ladies, I'm sure, well, that's the obvious part of the cruise, and that it's so much fun to be with your friends and make new friends and socialize and things like that. But, again, for me, it was awesome to sit back and watch the friendships forming amongst our team and people that you've been talking with online but haven't ever met in person. Oh, look at Tina.
Tina. My cat's like very...
Jack the hamster is in the background as well. He'll probably start
literally sitting up on the back of my office chair. There's about an inch that she's standing on right now.
So just watching, you know, the friendships form and our husbands meet and hanging out was a lot of fun and was amazing too. And that was probably, Crystal posted today, I think she posted it on the FPs today as well. And that was one of my biggest, not even takeaways, but just like eye-opening moments or defining moments, I guess, of the cruise was with Ben. And this is his third LuLaRoe event. He was on the first cruise last year. He went to Inspire when they were in Columbus, which was a big deal as well because he had to cancel an entire day's worth of patients. And then this cruise. So it's taken him a little bit to get there. He's always been super supportive of me. There has never been a time that he hasn't, but he was supportive in different ways. He was supportive as in like taking care of the kids or picking up more of like household responsibilities and doing things like that without ever complaining. But this was my business and he had his. And so I don't know what it was. I haven't even had the chance to talk to him about what it was, but something on the cruise changed him. And it was actually funny because I was preparing for this at 11:30 and I was going through, we got these cute little notebooks on the cruise, and I was going through my notes to see about what I wanted to talk about. and I got here, and Ben has written in 4 pages of ideas and notes that he did since we got home, and things that he thinks that we, so now it's like we and our, should try in this business. So there is this absolute, it can happen with your significant other, where they just, I think they see the potential. They see the potential of what LuLaRoe can be. And then honestly, I think Ben sees like untapped potential. And so I think he was there, and the people he was talking to saw there was so much untapped potential for us in our business and things that we can do. So that like could never be replaced for me. That, and so whether it's the cruise, and whether you're going on the cruise, or whether it's Super Saturday or it's an Inspire, get your significant other involved if you have one, especially if they're kind of lacking. They don't have to be, you know, conflicted with you over LuLaRoe, but maybe they're just not like all in yet. And it takes time, because like I said, I think this is the first time I feel like Ben is all in. I mean, not enough to quit his job, but he's definitely like more in than before. So get your significant others there. The cruise, you know, obviously is super fun, but it takes a lot to get there. So whether you do a Super Saturday or an Inspire or something else, just get your significant others there, because that was a big deal for me. And so that was my biggest takeaway. It was, I need to have my family more involved in this business. That, I mean, not just behind the scenes, like, you know, to you guys, to my customers, like I need to have Ben have a face with the business, be involved in the business, have my kids more involved, so that my kids understand that I'm spending time away, but this is why. And they're involved, and they can help, you know, set our goals and set our plans and things that we're working for, so they understand why mommy is gone. So those are my biggest takeaways. Adrienne, do you want to jump in with yours?
Sure. So I guess like Lindsay, this was my second cruise as well, and she's right, it was totally different. Last year, there were only 3 of us. It was Lindsay, Crystal, and myself, and so in a way, and last year, we didn't take up the whole boat. You know, last year, we were on it with normal people. No. But so it was really cool this year, I think, like she was saying, in terms of, you know, getting to know people from the team, but also for me, just thinking about the difference a year ago to today and seeing the growth in the business, I think that was big for me. Realizing all that has happened in the past year. Like I went on the cruise with like 1 person and 1 person in the queue, like, and then a year later, I'm like a trainer with 50 plus people, like just looking at it made me realize like, wow, so a year from now I could be at this. So it actually helped me to sit down and write some goals for the rest of the year. And when I write goals, it's not like a blanket statement. It's, I'm going to do this before convention. I'm going to do this by this date. Like it's, or I'm going to have this in sales every month. Like, you know, I do SMART goals, if you've ever heard of that, where it's like measurable and that kind of thing. So it gave me a chance to really sit down and do that. But for me, I was a big geek on the cruise. Anytime there was any kind of training, anytime there was anything from home office, I was there. I went to like double the trainings we were supposed to, but I didn't care. Because for me, I want to soak up anytime home office is there to talk to us. So one of the things I really enjoyed was a mentor panel. So those are all the ladies that were on the boat who have reached mentor. And I think it was important that like some of those people have been in the business 3 years and some have been in the business like a year and a half. So one of the biggest takeaways I had from that was pretty much all of them talked about how it's hard work and how they've had to sacrifice. I think sometimes we can look at these ladies who, you know, their paychecks for like a monthly bonus is like 50 to like 300,000 a month. And we might look at that like, oh, they've got it made. It's so easy for them. And like, so to hear them talk about how they got there and just the fact that like this did not happen overnight, I took a lot away from the mentor panel. But also one of the biggest takeaways I had from them was like they kept talking about relationships and relationships with your customers and basically getting out from behind the screen, right? Getting out in your community. Like there were people who were presenting things about, oh, I'm challenged with my sales or I'm challenged with that. And the questions they got back were like, well, what are you doing in your community? What are you doing outside? What are you doing, you know, vendor events? Have you just started going to Target and handing out your business cards? So for me, I got some good takeaways from the mentor panel. I also am really stoked about our new communication and PR director. Her name is Shayna. And I have a degree in communications and PR, so she was speaking my language like I'm all about this girl. But I'm really excited that the company has brought her on because she is basically going to take charge of our branding and making sure that the message we have out there to the public is consistent. She's going to help with telling our story. She's going to help with, whenever, if media were to contact you or anything, you can go to her. So I'm really excited about that. And I also, some of my other big takeaways were mostly from Mark. I love Mark, just because he's all about the facts and information. Deanne's like, I believe in you. She's all the feels. But Mark is very like, here's what we have done, X, Y, Z. And so a lot of what I got from Mark was about sustainability. I feel like maybe some of us are in this business right now and we're kind of like, well, we don't know how long it's going to last. So let's just kind of ride the wave and see what happens. And like after a week of the cruise, I am like, this business is in it for the long haul. Like, this is not a fad. And he kind of reminded us of some things like, what we're selling, these clothes are different. Obviously our business model is different, but also just the fact that like, he said we're a necessity. Like when people have to wear clothes every day, like you can't leave the house without wearing clothes. Well, you can go a month without buying a candle or whatever, other kind of direct sales. So just kind of reminded me that like, we're not going anywhere. And also that we're constantly changing. We're adding new styles. There were some sneak peeks of a few new things that are coming. And it reminded me that like a year ago, we didn't have the Carly. Like on the cruise a year ago, we did not have the Carly dress. We were all wearing maxi skirts. But I want you to think about when the Carly came out, we got them in like August. So like none of us have sold the Carly in the spring and summer. It's going to be huge, right? Well, guess what? In 6 months, they're going to release all new stuff. And so there's constantly new things to sell. And it just kind of reminded me that like, we're not going to go stale because we're constantly out there with new things, getting people excited. And then the other thing is that I really feel that the company is prepared for growth. One of the things they talked about is whenever, right after the cruise and then right after convention, there's like this huge growth spurt because everybody's on fire for the business. And in the past, I don't think they've been as prepared for that because we've had shipping delays or we've had, the queue grow or that kind of thing. So it sounds like they are prepared. Right now we're doing same day shipping. They've invested in this warehouse. He said that the new warehouse is going to triple production and that we will probably be getting our things, those of us on the East Coast, like within a couple days. Like, can you imagine getting inventory like a couple days after you order it? So for me, I felt like I always have known they have our back, but I just feel like finally they're like really prepared for what's to come, and it made me excited. So those are just a few things. I don't want to steal. I don't know what other people are talking about, so I'll let Rach and Emily go. We'll see. Who's next?
Rach, you want to go?
Sure. So I guess for me, my biggest thing is that I wasn't always like a Kool-Aid drinker. It was really easy for me to look at the people who started early in the company and be like, well, they have a major advantage on me, and they had all this pretty much, since they started so early, they got a huge advantage on all of us, and I'm never going to get there because it's just because they started so much earlier than me. And then after being there and talking to people they're just real normal people. And I've talked to people where they're like, how long have you been in this business? And I'm like, okay, well, I've been in since March. And they're like, oh my God, congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment. And they're people, and once you get to talk to them, and yes, we see the Lindsay Wheelers and those people, the Kendra Pratt and all of them, but they're the people I talked to that were like, oh my gosh, congratulations. They've been in the business for 2.5 years, and they still have small teams, and their sales are still struggling just like us. And once I like lifted that veil of like just looking at the big dogs and thinking that they were just gonna be there, it became easier to see where I am and that I'm a product of my own work. And I think Mark said that it like really stuck with me, is that this business is an interactive environment, and you're going to craft your business in your minute or your success minute by minute. And it's a fluid environment. Like those people who started that long ago, it's completely changed since then. So they've also had to make the changes and adjust to the new business and keep pushing the same way I have. So once I lifted that veil and I saw them as normal people, and they're working just as hard as I am, and yeah, they're getting those big bonus checks and this and that, and that's amazing for them, but I can get there. There's no reason why I can't get there too. So as soon as I stopped being a victim of that like thought process, like it just clicked with me. Like I have so many ideas. I just talked to everybody that I could. Like we talked to Kendra Pratt one night, and she's so humbled and she can't even believe where she is. And that can be us too. Like I'm beyond like filled with ideas. I can't stop working. My biggest takeaway from Cruise and why I want to do it again is just that. I just want to be so much better than I am, and I was able to like lift the lens and see what I'm not doing and things I can do better. And it's no longer like a me versus them, or there's like the glass ceiling of where I'll never be because of them. It's me. It's me on my own, and I get to do what I want, and I get to craft my success starting today. And so I picked up my book and I've written notes down, and I just like soaked up everything I could, and I kind of like blended into like what I can do for myself today. So I will try my best to go on the next cruise, because like I'll never be able to get that back. Somebody can sit here till they're blue in the face and tell me, oh, well, you can do it and you can do this and that. You just have to you have to wake up, and you have to sit there and realize that you can do whatever you want to, as long as you put the work into it. And I was sitting back and wanting it to happen to me, and like, it's not that anymore. Like I'm going to post on my page every day. I'm going to do the things that everybody tells you to, but I'm going to do it like I mean it now. You know, it's just, it is. There's no like end to this. Like there's so many places we can go. And like piggybacking off what Adrienne said, in the mentor panel, they had people that were new to the business. They had people that weren't even trainers yet. They don't sit there and dote on their mentors and those people that have been there from the beginning. They're sitting there and celebrating the success of people who have worked and done stuff for themselves and involved their husbands and just have gone above and beyond. And like, that can be you, that can be me. So I'm like, Emily was afraid I would talk this whole entire thing, because I'm really excited and I could talk all day. So I have a huge notebook and things I want to get done and things I want to share, and it's just that Cruise did that for me. So I'm really excited. Yeah.
That's awesome, Rach. That is one thing when I was saying about the husbands or the significant others, if you take them to things, it's absolutely true for me personally too. It's why I go, I've said this before, you guys have heard it, I'm sure 1,000 times, but it's why I go to every single event I possibly can. From leadership to Inspire, I've driven 6 hours to go to an Inspire before, conventions, Super Saturdays, team meetings, because I always leave super motivated and I kick ass for the first however long after that until the next event when I need that dose of Kool-Aid again. And I mean, it's a joke, but it's true. Like, you have to be around these people, and people are so willing to just share ideas and share what has worked for them and successes that they've seen. And then you can think of, oh gosh, I haven't tried that. And then I can spin it my way. It's not just, plagiarizing what other people are doing, but it's just getting ideas and sharing it. And I love that about our team and how everybody is so willing to help each other. And I hope that forever continues, because that is how we all get better. So I love that, Rach, that you walked away. And I honestly, just hearing you talk, is you completely have a different perspective. And you just need that refueling. It's not bad to hit that low. I hit those lows sometimes too. And I just need that little dose. And I get it. And you hit the ground running. Oh, okay. You want to?
Sure. Do I need to talk? Do I need to do anything to be?
Nope, you're good.
Okay. So the cruise for me was a lot of different things. I think I wanted to touch on 3 points. First was going there and being with our team and being with the other people who are in the top 2% of the company, which, mind-blowing, apparently is me and you and whoever else was on that cruise. And I mean, you're just literally in the middle of the ocean. You have no internet and you have no phone, so you really have no choice but to just get in deep with your teammates. And honestly, we all see each other's names on Facebook, and we do some vendor events here and there, and we do some Super Saturdays, but this is a whole different level. your husband is there, or your spouse, or your partner, or your best friend, or somebody that you value enough to bring on this cruise with you is there. And so you're just with everybody. And I just feel so much closer to every single person that I was there with from this team, I consider a friend. And I know their husbands now and their boyfriends and their whatever, so I really just feel like it strengthened the bond that I have and the trust that I have with the FPs and the RTs especially. And I don't think that you can really get that unless you spend intimate time together with no internet. So that was the first thing that I really gave me a sense of, confidence and just excitement, because I really feel like now I can reach out to all those people that maybe I didn't know so well before, but now it's like we have a common ground. So I love that about it. And then the second thing that I think really stuck with me, let me find my notes here, was when Mark was talking on Saturday about the secret to success, and he was discussing the way to build wealth and be successful, and how it has nothing to do with money or making money. And so for me, I think I personally do a good job of this because I really am a servant to my customers, and I always have been, and I'm always super nice, and I don't worry about the sale, and I don't worry about if somebody wants to return some, holy leggings from 5 months ago. I just return them and I just make that customer happy and we move on. Because if you stop chasing money in your business, then you will be successful. If you start focusing on being a servant to your customers and to your other consultants and to your world, like, you owe it to the world to give something back to them. And so if you just get out of the mindset of looking at, am I cruise qualifying? Am I hitting this amount of money? How many pieces have I sold? How many dollars have I made? Like, stop worrying about that and just focus on why you love these clothes. And I can remember from my first Super Saturday, maybe, Jen McCann was up talking, and she said something about how if somebody compliments her dress, she's like, oh, and I love this dress. Oh, and I have so many skirts, and oh, I have so many cute things. So just there's a true passion for what you're doing. So this job, to me, isn't a job. It's always been just something that's so much fun. And then the money comes, but it's really not the high priority for me. And let's see, what else did he say that I liked? It said, yeah, so basically quit chasing money and focus on being a servant to your customers. And then love the culture of LuLaRoe, which is to serve, and truly they walk that walk down to it, down to their core, and they are all about serving you. They are all about serving me. And I started and had my first sale on June 9th last year, and I cruise qualified. So this is not something that is out of your reach as a new consultant or a struggling consultant or something. I mean, you just really can do this, and it is really attainable. You don't have to be a mentor. You don't have to be a coach. You don't have to be super experienced in this business. I cruise qualified my first month in, and I've never not cruise qualified since. And now I'm really putting my foot in my mouth because this month I have 12 days. And so things are going to get pretty aggressive over the next 12 days, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be on that next cruise, and you have to decide that you're going to be there too. And it's not, I think I'm going to be there. You are going to be there, and you are going to do this, and you're going to get started right now. So let's see. I think that is probably the most important things, but also just having time to bring my husband into this. He's always been really supportive of me, but now, like, the men were powwowing over man things and making cool plans for our businesses. And that to me is awesome. Like, my husband now has more guy. I mean, he doesn't really have a lot of guy friends because I'm kind of a hot mess and I take up all of his time. So I'm excited that he now has some guy friends in LuLaRoe who can just be excited about what I'm excited about, and we're all just in it together. And if you have questions or you want help or you are not doing something, like, just reach out to anyone. Like, I will help you if you're not on my team. Lindsay will help you. Rachel will help you. Adrian, everybody will help you. So all you have to do is ask. And if you want to come to a pop-up, then ask someone to go to their pop-up. They will let you come. I'll let you come. And so mentors, coach, don't worry about the title. Just, reach out to all the resources that are there for you, because they are seriously all over the place. And I'm so grateful to have been a part of the experience and even the slang. today is worth.
We are all sweating right
The
now.
motion sickness, I'm still, the lack of motion sickness is what I'm calling it. But it was an incredible experience, and I couldn't say better things. I couldn't say a negative thing about it other than maybe the swing. So thank you.
So thank you guys for sharing your experiences. I had a couple other notes and that you guys had touched on too. And I think that I also resonate with Mark a lot. I think sometimes on webinars, he can come across pretty like brash and harsh. But when you see him in person and you just see like when he gets choked up, which he does, I mean, Deanne cries every single day, but like
when Mark cries.
Yes. I mean, and I've seen he did it at leadership and he did it on the cruise as well. And just seeing how much passion that they truly have for this business and they have for all of us, it's just contagious. I guess that's the biggest thing that you would take away from these experiences is that it's just all contagious. Like the success is contagious. The excitement is contagious. Just like negativity can be contagious and why we don't want that in our teams, the positivity and the success is that much more contagious. And so being and surrounding yourself by that is just so important to your business and to growing. And one of the things Rachel, I think, was touching on this, how Mark had said that we craft our life minute by minute by the choices that we make. And if we choose fear, then that can completely hold us back and send you down a completely different path of your life. And fear can be anything from fear of failure. That's probably the number one fear that people have in LuLaRoe, and what holds them back from going to that next level. And whether that next level is cruise qualifying or whether that next level is ordering 33 pieces a week, it doesn't matter. But if fear can be paralyzing, it can cripple you and hold you back and prevent you from growing as a person and growing as a business, growing as a couple, growing as a human. And so we just have to make the choice to do it. Whether, like I said, it's cruise qualifying, no matter what it is, just make the choice that you are all in and go for it. And that can mean something different for everybody. I'm not going to say that cruise qualifying is for everybody, but you need to look at it as different ways. I hear a lot of the time, I hate cruises, I don't want to cruise qualify. Okay, then take the cruise out of it. Even if you don't want to do that, look at the fact that if you're cruise qualifying, you're profiting $6,000 every single month. How can $6,000 change your life? How can it change somebody else's life if you bless others? If you are able, so many people I've talked to, with coaches, and we've talked about, some of the assistants that we've brought on to help with different things and how money was really tight for them and they cried when they got their first paycheck. I mean, that's how Deanne and Mark look at everything, that like you are blessing other people's lives when if you hire a cleaning lady, like something that actually helps you blesses her life. So there's just so many different ways to look at it, but I just don't want people to brush it off because they think it's unattainable, because it is attainable. You just have to say you're going to do it. And I don't think there's any one of us on the team that hasn't busted our butts to get there. I said it yesterday, and I'm going to say it again today. It is not easy for me to cruise qualify. I am not one of those people that just sells $15,000, $20,000 every single month without effort. I'm not. It is hard work for me, and I had to bust my butt last month and make a lot of sacrifices to get there, and I'm going to do it again this month. Who knows if I'm going to make it, but I am happy to share my journey with you guys and what I'm doing to get there. I know Lisa did that on the Retail Therapist page. That will help you get ideas, but just know that everybody's working really hard to get there because the rewards are so great and so big, not just monetarily. That's actually the least part of it. It's how you can grow as a person that I think has been life-changing for so many of us.
Can I step in and just say one thing, Linz? I just wanted to say, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so lucky to be under you and on your team. I'm, going to get choked up because,
oh God,
you guys do not understand. She is up until midnight, and she is, listening to training on how to revamp her VIP group, and she is down to the last hour of the month, sliding into home base to cruise qualify, on top of managing 400 people, having 3 kids and a husband who has his own business. It's unbelievable how much time and effort and passion that she puts into this business. And if just don't think because they're up on the upper level that they're not up all night long working their off for this business and working so hard. I work all the time, and I sacrifice a lot, and it's worth it. But it doesn't come easy for anybody at that level, I guarantee you. And I'm now that I've gotten so much closer to Lindsay, like I see her putting her foot down to the ground and preaching it and walking it every day. Like it's unbelievable how hard she works, and I'm just so blessed, and so are you, to be a part of this team.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
It's true. Love you.
Love you, mean it.
Love you, mean it.
And thank you for sharing the cheddar popcorn on the last day of the cruise.
Smart top.
I took all her snacks and her Dramamine and everything else. All right, ladies. Well, I hope you are taking a nugget away from this and you feel maybe inspired to put that as a goal, whether it's cruise qualifying or something else. I just want you guys to be inspired to do more than what you're doing now. And I don't just mean with sales, just be, put customer service more at the forefront or whatever it is. Just pick something and push yourself. Because I think what I can say for every single one of us on that cruise is that we love LuLaRoe and we love the business, we love the people, we love the clothes. And so when you get that passion in your heart for it, it doesn't feel like so much work. It doesn't feel like I'm sacrificing the world because I love it. And I'm teaching my kids how to work for what you want. And I could go on and on. I'm not going to because we have 28 minutes until the next webinar, but that's my hope for all of you. So love you all. Thanks for joining in. The 16 of you that did, I really appreciate it. Know that you're all my favorites. Just kidding. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all. Talk to you later.